there was obviously lots happening at that time, Hogan, Bischoff, and that era, but there was also a lot of nostalgia part of that. And one of the bits of nostalgia I really loved was this kind of new iteration of the Four Horsemen. So you, Nigel McGuinness, obviously Desmond Wolfe at the time, AJ, and Bobby Roode becoming Fortune under the kind of tutelage of Ric Flair. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was fun because now you have all these different personalities, like in this one group, and we made it work, and we were just having so much fun. And a lot of people didn't know we did this thing called ice, and this is where you put like a Smirnoff Ice under something, and if somebody picks it up, they have to chug it, And I can't tell you how many times we got Flair, on it. like we were to the point where we were scared to like open our bags up because we thought there would be like Smirnoff Ice in our bags, and we had to chug it and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. It's just a group of guys who were just, having fun out there. So,
yeah, an incredible group. So I got to ask you about winning the TNA Championship. So obviously, that's a huge moment for you. You go over one of the biggest legends in our business. Describe the emotion that you kind of felt that night after all of your years of excelling in the tag division, and then you're becoming the king of the mountain in TNA.
I really wasn't sure that they were going to do it until it got closer to bell time. And I just remember like Kurt was hurt. He had messed up his hamstring real bad. And I had this big match like laid out. We had, I think, like 10 minutes or something like that. So Kurt allowed me to like lay the match out and whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I get back there and I start telling him, and he goes, I don't know about that. And I was like, about what? He goes, how about this? How about I just beat you down and you wind up just kicking me out of nowhere and beating me. And then you use the rest of the remaining time to celebrate and do whatever you want to do. And I was like, I'm not going to argue with him. I was like, if that's what you want to do, if you think it's going to work, he goes, guarantee me. I guarantee you, like, no one's going to see it's coming, and it's going to be an instant surprise. And it's so funny because you can see people, like when he's beating me down, they're on their phone. And then as soon as I kick him, they look up, they're like, oh, and I just remember, like rolling off, and I said, hey man, I said, thank you very much. He goes, get up, celebrate. You deserve it. And I was like, oh, cool. And I got up, man. And the first thing I did was just look up, and, my dad, he died when I was very young. It's always one of those things. It's like, man, I wish he could be here to see this, because he was such a wrestling fan too, and now see his son go off to win the championship of a big company, he'd have been very proud. So it's just like, man, like I wish you could have been here to see this one,
Yeah, so. It's I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and actually, absolutely, whenever there's a big moment in my life, something really cool happens, he's the first person I want to phone up and tell. And you just always I always have that belief that he's there and he's watching, he's seeing it. I'm sure he was there with you on that night.
There's sometimes I'm like, I hope you ain't watching this. but yeah, hopefully that night he's just like, good job,
Yeah, hopefully just there for the good stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.